Good morning and Jai Hind, students. I am Kanchan, and today I have taken the chapter on the face of it. And the characters of this chapter are Mr. Lamb, who is an old man, Dairy, who is 14 years boy, and Dairy's mother. The theme of the chapter is to be positive in attitude towards life and this world to overcome all the problems in our life. So, this chapter was written by Susan Hill. So, here on the face of it by Susan Hill is a story in the form of a play. It is about two people who are physically impaired but totally stand apart in their attitudes and approach towards life. The play deals with the theme of loss and isolation and how an individual should deal with it. One must face the challenges of life with bravery. So, here Dairy is a young boy of 14 years and has one side of his face acid burn, and due to which he is thinking in the abyss of frustration because no one loves him. He thinks no one loves him. But Mr. Lamb, who is also physically challenged, uh, teaches or explains or tells him to face this world with positive attitude. So he enters into his garden, and then Mr. Lamb welcomes him, and then he tells to face this world, as he tells that he also welcomes all the wild plants, all the flowers, all the things in this world, as he welcomes flowers, as he welcomes big trees. So he keeps his attitude same for all the wild plants and all the grass, even bees also. So he tells how to see this world. Mr. Lamb lives by himself in a big house with a large spacious garden in front. It is here that Dairy meets him when he enters his house, thinking it to be empty. He thinks that his garden would be empty, but when he looks Mr. Lamb, then he wants to escape from there, but Mr. Lamb stops him and he tells him many things, many valuable things there, and he tells him that he need not to be afraid of anything. Dairy reacts headily, saying that people are afraid of him because his face is acid burn face. That he is going to make jelly out, and then Mr. Lamb tells that today he will take ladder and he will pluck these apples and he will make jelly. Mr. Lamb doesn't make any reaction. Whatever Dairy says, he stays cool, and he tells him that he is going to make jelly out of the ripe apples. And then, however, Dairy dislikes this change of topic. He doesn't like that Mr. Lamb has changed his topic. At this, even he tells he wants to make Dairy a person, a boy with positive attitudes. So he tells that he welcomes everything, like weeding plants. He also like, and he tells that even weeds have their own values. At this time, Mr. Lamb tells him about his own handicap, and he tells him that one of his legs got blown off in war. Then he has a tin leg. Children tease him by calling him Lammy Lamb, but he doesn't mind it. He advises Dairy not to mind what people say about him, and he advises to face this world with positive attitude. He also tells Dairy that this bitterness that he is having acid burn face, he must face this world with positivity, and he also wants him to be positive attitude in life. And Dairy is full of bitterness towards this world and is critical of his mother, who kisses him only on the good side of his face. So he says that my mother kisses me on the face which side is good. Mr. Lamb narrates a story of a timid man who never come out of his house, fearing that he would meet some fatal accident. but died in his own room. He found dead in his own room because a picture fell down upon him and his head and upon his head, and he was killed. He was dead at that time. So this story makes Derry change his attitude towards Mr. Lamb and as well as towards life. Mr. Lamb assures Derry that whatever belongs to him is his, and he welcomes him in his garden. Now for the first time Derry opens up and talks of Mr. Lamb's handicap. He has developed a bonding with him. If you fell from a ladder and broke your neck, you could lie on the grass and die if you were on your own, Lamb says. Then I could. Lamb says this, yes, I could. And Derry knows that his presence in his house would help him. So Mr. Lamb now realizes that his conversation has brought a positive change in Derry's thinking. Derry runs home and tells his mother about his decision to Mr. Lamb's garden. And he says that I will go again to Mr. Lamb. And then Mr. Lamb has fallen down. In the last, Mr. Lamb has fallen down from along with the ladder and doesn't respond to Derry's words. And when he reaches there, he finds that Mr. Lamb was lying down and ladder was there also, and apples were scattered here and there. So he was there full of grief. He was sad at that time because he wanted to learn many things, as he had learnt many things from Mr. Lamb, and Mr. Lamb has taught the next generation as well as Derry to carry on his good work before passing off to the next world. So here in this chapter we have read how Mr. Lamb has taught Derry about the positive attitude, about the things that must be there here, and in that way this chapter tells us about to be positive and to keep on good things in our life and to be positive. Here Mr. Lamb is also physically impaired person, but he tells that he is all alone and disappointed in his house, but he didn't show, and he is full of hopefulness, and he welcomes all the things in his garden. And he also tells that he welcomes wedding plants also. So here also Mr. Lamb, he was there living in a very big house without any family members, and he never draws curtains, which shows that he didn't want to be hidden anything from the eyes of the people. He needs society. Now he says to Derry, I go down the street and kids shout Lamby Lamb, but still I come into the garden, into my house, it is a game. And he said I don't respond anyone that yes, I don't like your remarks, and he welcomes everyone. So in this chapter we have read and we have learnt to be positive, and that we have to be good and true, and we have to be positive towards this world and for everything. So I hope you would have understood well. This is all about this chapter, that we have read to be positive and to overcome all the problems. So this is about this chapter. Thank you and Jai Hind.